Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I'm your host, Dylan Cooper, the constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And guys, we are here this week to review The Burdens of Loyalty.
Yes.
And a little precursor, the second half of this book isn't as big of a burden on my loyalty as the beginning half of this book was.
It's not bad. It's not great.
Cybernetica wasn't good. And that's where we're starting.
Yeah. Well, did we review Cybernetica last week?
No, we did the first two.
Okay, we can start with Cybernetica. Yeah. I mean, I'm still dying from all of the short stories. I'm drowning in short stories, Dylan.
Yeah, on the Discord, someone was like, "Do you guys get burned out?" I was like, yeah, I'm so fucking burned out. Every time we get to an anthology, a part of me fucking dies.
It's literally just the anthologies, and
it really is. Like when we get to the novels, I'm like actually excited.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to an anthology that takes you back to fucking Prospero, and you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?
What are we doing?
You get Old Earth, where it's like, all right, cool, like Vulcan's here now, like shit's gonna be awesome."
Yeah.
And then we go back to Prospero, and I'm like, what the fuck? I don't care about any of this.
Absolutely.
But we'll get into our bitch fest soon enough. As always, guys, hit us up on our Discord. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. You can email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube also at the Heresy Lodge. We have Tips Enable on Twitter if you feel like contributing to the podcast, or you can buy some merch. We have all kinds of stuff. Check it out. Buy something for your loved ones for a late Valentine's Day because they fucking deserve it.
Yes, unless they don't. Well, we don't know them.
Hey, if they don't,
maybe they don't deserve it.
Even more. Maybe we should just get we start doing quotes and we have a shirt that says "Dicks on the inside," but it's Dicks on the inside of the shirt. You have to flip it up.
That's genius. Gosh,
I'm a marketing god.
Marketing professionals over here. Dicks on the inside, baby. Hell in the Cell.
I don't know if we can use Hell in the Cell. The WWE might come after us.
You're right. Damn.
But Dick Company, though, they'll never come at us.
The Dick Company. The Emperor's Children have a trademark on that. Yeah, what are you drinking?
Oh,
what are you drinking?
First? Yeah. I am drinking.
Yours is weird.
I'm gonna say this perfectly. Stafferhofer. That's gotta be it. Hefeweizen beer, grapefruit. It is German quality, as it says on the bottle. It is delicious.
That sounds disgusting.
I'm not a big like actual grapefruit. I do not enjoy, but grapefruit flavored things I enjoy. I just like the bitterness of an actual grapefruit, and this is good. I mean,
you don't just raw dog grapefruit?
Nah, man, I can't. It's so fucking bitter.
It's not a fruit that I feel like I would just eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem I have,
fuckers do that. Although apparently it's supposed to be really good for you.
Fuck that. Well, drinking's terrible for. I think you just took a good thing and made it a bad thing.
No, it's just so good for me. Gut health.
It's for my health.
I started counting calories recently, and this one isn't too high on the calorie list, so it's fine.
I think that's kind of gross, just because Hefeweizens to me, I don't like Hefeweizens. They're like banana flavored beers.
Some of them are it depends. I've had some of them that taste more like lime or lemony.
I taste all banana almost every time I drink a Hefeweizen, and then you're like grapefruit. I'm like, it just reminds me of someone taking a banana and then pouring grapefruit juice on it and eating it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Did you ever see that stupid fucking grapefruit video?
Yes, the girl going to town.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it with the banana.
So that's what you're drinking today, Dylan.
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of sucks, because I haven't had beer on the podcast in a while, and I went to a bunch of breweries last weekend, And I went to one and I got my favorite kind of beer. It wasn't the one I got wasn't the best, but I love Helles beers. Like German beers are great, except for Hefeweizens, in my opinion. And Helles beers are like my favorite. And I drank it all yesterday.
Ah, shit.
Darn. Had some people over watching Game of Thrones. So I'm left with I've got a port wine from Huber Winery. It's in southern Indiana. It's just called Ruby Port. I love porters. Porters are or ports. They're called they're not porters, are they?
Porter's a type of beer.
Okay, well,
A dark beer, baby.
yeah. Port wines, they're just so good. And this is like 18%, so it's pretty strong.
I like port wines, but man, I could never drink like a bottle of one.
I feel like it just like burns the right amount because like it's sweet, but like sweet wines oftentimes make me sick, and this just like burns. So it's like I feel like it doesn't make me sick. Kind of seems like backwards logic, but that's where I'm at. You drink your fucking banana grapefruit beer. Gross ass.
Well, my biggest problem with them is like some of them are like super chocolatey taste. And I'm not a fan of like fruit and chocolate mixed together.
I can't drink chocolate, but fucking give me that grapefruit covered banana. I'll deep throat that shit all day.
It's good for you. Gut health.
Yep,
Cholesterol. Heart disease. It helps all of those things.
So
Cybernetica. Rob Sanders. This fucking sucked. Was my I think I liked this one less than the Prospero one because this one was longer.
I disagree entirely. The Prospero one, like
it was really bad. This at least had a moment. This peaked. It had a moment in the middle. That was like that was cool.
Oh my gosh. I thought we were talking about Ordo Sinister.
No, we're talking about Cybernetica.
I'm an idiot. Oh yeah, this was the worst. This was the worst. I agree with you.
How do you want to start this? So we have the Raven Guard, who is trained to be a tech marine.
Cool choice. So far, so good.
And like why he's like training for it is because he's like, well, I got really fucked up on a bunch of cybernetic parts, and no one wants me, so I'll be a tech marine.
So they give him a arm that can absorb electricity, and then he can use it as a weapon, which is OP as fuck. Why don't they just have that? Just absorbs them. Why don't they just have that everywhere? I feel like that's like a great weapon. Like fuck, if that's the case, like give every fucking space marine a cybernetic arm.
Can it absorb bullets? If it doesn't absorb bullets, it's a waste.
It just seems so crazy that you think about the scenario. Obviously Warhammer's over the top, but you can give somebody the ability to absorb electricity from weaponry and shut it down. Great. Do it to fucking everyone. What's the other alternative? Just an arm?
You got to get more batteries, man. Batteries aren't cheap in the 30. Well, this is the 31st millennium.
This is what kills me. This is what kills me about this. So you get introduced to a swath of tech marines in training. You have an Iron Warrior, an Ultramarine, a Salamander who dies first, of course.
Those fuckers.
Like literally, I called it. I was like, I guarantee you this dude's gonna die first. He fucking does. They also have an Imperial Fist.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
Iron Hand.
No Iron Hand. I'm actually so glad that Rob Sanders didn't include an Iron Hand. I would have died. He had a Raven Guard as the main character. Like the only thing that could have made this book worse is if it was an Iron Hand. Think about that.
Aren't Iron Hands really all tech marines?
Yeah, and the whole book would be them talking about it.
You guys all fucking suck, or a bunch of pussies.
Yeah.
Flesh is weak.
So they go, and it's during the time of Mechanicum. So they're like, what would you call it? It's like a building that hosts all the tech marines. Gets it becomes under attack by a bunch of Mechanicum.
Fucking Titan.
The battle doesn't make a lot of sense to me because they send in like a ridiculous amount of Mechanicum soldiers, They killed a salamander.
Expected.
It's like a long ass battle. Okay. So they got people coming in from the sides, you got people coming in from the elevators. Like every tech marine dies except for the Raven Guard and the Iron Warrior. And then a Titan shows up to blow up the building. I'm like, why didn't you just do that?
Yeah, why
In the
waste
first
the
place?
people?
It seems very strange. So the Raven Guard escapes because the Iron Warrior throws him off. I'll tell you one thing I already disliked about this story. It was like 10 pages of introducing the characters and they killed them all in like the next page.
Yeah.
Why did we go through all that?
Yeah, it was dumb. Also, like the twist, I fucking saw that coming the whole way.
I was very curious. I thought it was interesting that all of the legions that were present were loyal except for the Iron Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because the Iron Warrior obviously didn't know at this time that Port Rabo was on the bad side. But I was like, I feel like something's going to happen there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's an Iron War. They're just petty bitches.
They don't die very easily.
Yeah, and when they come, they just come back fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the fucking Raven Guard, you know, who gets thrown out the window. He steals a fucking like jet bike bird. I don't know what the fuck it was.
He also has a pet
yeah,
bird.
he also has a pet bird that's robotic, which is different than like the cool one that one random. I know he is a monkey. The one random Iron Hand with the like super special fucking bird that ripped him out of his own fucking like coffin.
Oh no, yeah, the Iron Hand. Oh yeah, that's right. So many pet like mechanical beings. What's going on?
Yeah, but his is like super special. But the Raven Guards is just a normal bird. I don't fucking know.
Normal bird.
Weird shit happening.
Yeah, he makes it back to Terra. We find out that Malkador has recruited him, and he's gathered together the Fabricator General Kane and Dorn, and they're like, "Hey, what are we gonna do about Mars?" And the Fabricator General makes a good point. It's like, listen, like we're giving you all these weapons and shit, but we have a treaty. We're not like bound to you necessarily. We just work together and we don't have our home planet. And Dorn's like, fucking sucks to suck. Like maybe you should have fucking kept it.
Honestly, though, and really, I don't understand the like. I think I talked about this in the preview. Like, I don't understand the obsession with your planet.
Dude, kind of fuck the Mechanicum though, right?
Oh, agreed.
Like the Mechanicum, they're cocky as shit. Half of them are traitors. Now, granted, half of the Space Marines were traitors too.
True.
But like, you don't see like. Let me give a good example of this. Let me try and think of one. I feel like if Nocturne was lost, right, the Salamanders wouldn't be like, well, we can't really like fight on Terra because we need to get our home planet back first, or else we won't provide you with soldiers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and like even like the fucking solution they have to this, like, okay, well, what if we blow up the thing that like stabilizes the atmosphere, and it'll just be like a chemical wasteland for like 10,000 years. Oh, is that actually better? Like, it's not habitable. Yeah. Why not just fucking blow it up and be done with it? Hell,
yeah.
If your Omnissiah dragon thing's so special, it'll probably survive.
Probably. More than likely. I mean, it doesn't live in Euclidean geometry, so
this is true.
I'm sure it's fine. So they send the Raven Guard back is the solution. Send the Raven Guard back, turn off the polar sphere magnetic shielding piece that Mars has. And in order to do this, the Raven Guard, first off, he like fights battles on Mars with some people that are evil now. Robot dogs. He fights robot dogs. Like, we get a lot of like unnecessary combat.
Well, even the things with him, like they're almost like AI things.
Yeah, they're servitors. They're battle servitors.
Yeah, but
they're humans.
They also have like thought processes.
Yeah, I think the problem with this book is it kind of reads like a D&D encounter.
Kind of, yeah.
Like a
It
D&D
just
game.
gets
Like
more ridiculous.
yeah, and at the same time, like your D&D encounter is fun because you're playing it, but if you ever try to describe it to somebody, you're like, dude, I'm exhausted. It's like you look at all the old school D&D movies, and you're like, these are dog shit. They try to base them off of D&D encounters. So I just feel like there was so much in this that didn't need to be there. All this combat, all this weird wandering, all the descriptions of people that died in the next page. But eventually, the solution is the Raven Guard goes and unlocks artificial intelligence on Mars.
Yeah, because we didn't even talk about this. When he was going through his training, he saw this Mechanicum guy who apparently was like all about like bringing back AI, get fucking imprisoned. It like stuck with him for some reason. Like, yeah, that guy has an idea. And that whole encounter is even fucking weirder when they
the guy's awake. He unlocks this like our giant artificial intelligence robot that is supposed to be like, what do they call it?
I don't know.
The Great Intelligence or something like that.
I don't know, but he puts it in his like fucking brain.
It gets really weird.
Like,
basically, like this artificial intelligence awakens a bunch of Castellan robots. They go and march against the Mechanicum, the evil Mechanicum. They're super outnumbered. They all fucking die. But like the Raven Guard is escorted by a group of Castellan robots that are named after digits of the finger.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, they talked about it. It's like, but what if they were
got to the point where I started
fist?
skimming this shit.
Literally, at one thing I was doing, like they're named out of the digits of the finger, but I think if they wanted to, they could be a fist. And I was like,
that's a line. Man, someone got fucking paid to write this.
So they got like all the Castellan robots got blown up on the way up, but the artificial intelligence piece was like being like it lived in all the robots. And so at one point, the goal is like they're attacking this foundry, and the Iron Warrior shows up, but he's like a monster. The way I can describe this fight is it's like at the end of the first Iron Man, where Jeff Bridges has like the bigger Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
You kind of get what I'm saying?
100%.
And you're like, what is Jeff Bridges doing in this movie? But anyway. So the Raven Guard and the Castellans have this showdown. Jeff Bridges beats the shit out of everyone. Literally, he just beats the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
And then one of the Castellan robots leaves, and the Raven Guard is like, thank God. And then dies.
Yeah. His bird's like fucking pecking his chest. Like, all right.
Yeah.
The fucking Iron Words, like it looks like
So now we've got Jeff Bridges running around Mars. We also have, you know what I'm also wondering, like, where the fuck is that? Is it the Cabal machine? The Cabal machine? Do you remember that entire like short story? It was in Mechanicum too, where they invented like this like evil robot that went and hunted down.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was supposed to be made of AI. It had like void shielding or some shit.
Yeah,
but it was
his face made it.
The Fabricator General?
No, his like right hand guy now.
Yeah, whoever knows. Well, whoever the fuck that guy is. But yeah. And then like we get a whole short story of it, like trying to kill this guy, and this dude like seeks asylum somewhere, but they're turn two, so they have the robot. I don't know. So like, where the fuck is that thing? It's like the Cabal machine or something.
Yeah, forgotten. Like everything. Like apparently like all of fucking Mars until this book.
Yeah, so now we have like the Great Intelligence is wandering around in a random Castellan robot that apparently can just like he walks out of the forge, and I'm like, great, you're still in like a forge city. But the Raven Guard is like, he survived. I'm like, did he? Like, there's Titans
he ran
and shit
so fast.
walking around, man. So That's literally the end. Like the majority of this book, it's just battles. And I wish we could review battles, but like we just can't. Like we can't talk about how one dude swung a sword this way and another dude swung a sword this way. There was some magnetic shit involved. The dude absorbed energy from Jeff Bridges. There was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, and Jeff Bridges just punched the fuck out of him. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it got a little out of hand. And then the worst part about this entire book,
it's a long.
Well, yeah, but the ending just ruined it all too. The ending was so funny. I literally read it and I was like, I remember reading it. I was sitting on the couch. It was another one of those like moments with Katie where like she hears my reactions to books. And I was like, I read it and I literally said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" she goes, "What? Is it really good?" And I'm like, "No."
I just wasted an hour and a half of my entire fucking life.
Way more than an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's so long.
So the end is Dorn decides,
fuck it. It's fine.
All right, we'll go take back Mars. Like, wow, you could have just literally done that. And so now, like, what we're supposed to get out of this is the idea that artificial intelligence is just walking around Mars. That's the outcome we're supposed to retrieve. And Jeff Bridges.
But what makes it even better is you get to Wolfsbane, and they have not gone back for Mars.
Yeah.
It's like, so is that actually gonna like happen?
Yeah. So Mars is like a big deal now, apparently. In Burden of Loyalty, it comes up all the time. It's coming up in Wolfsbane. And I'm like,
yeah, because they're getting close to the siege, and they're like, oh fuck. Like that's like right there. We've ignored that.
I'm really wondering if it doesn't get settled until Mortis. Yeah, because maybe. Mortis is the Titan Legion that's on Mars.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe Mars gets settled in the siege, but
why don't they just fucking drop a bunch of fucking like EMP bombs on Mars? They can't fucking do shit. You just go down there like it's you want.
I'm sure Mars is EMP protected. They have EMP proofed their code.
You maybe, but what if? Okay, now hear me out. What if the Emperor just like sat from his chair and just threw a lightning bolt and it hit Mars?
What if Malkador just blows it up and then tells the Mechanicum that it was the Dark Mechanicum that blew it up? I mean, Malkador is a shady motherfucker. I feel like that's the solution, and he could do it if he wanted to.
It'd be one of those things though where like, there's no way a Mechanicum would blow up Mars. And they'd be like,
have you seen the Cabal engine? Shit's wild, man.
Bro, they made like an AI robot that like everyone forgot about.
Oh, yeah, they're sitting there. They got all kinds of crazy shit in them vaults. There's a dragon. Like, they're doing weird shit. Trust me.
Or I don't know. Why don't you, instead of blowing up the whole planet, maybe just drop a missile on the fucking thing you were trying to blow up anyway?
It's a really good idea. It kind of seems like that would solve a lot of the problems.
Like, probably pretty easily.
I feel like if you have a giant machine and like I'm assuming the Raven Guard was looking for like a button, like a turn-off button.
Yeah, maybe just a plug.
I'm sure the Mechanical just has like a big ass fucking wire just plugged into the wall. It's like, let me just unplug that. You know, like literally the only thing I can think of is this dude was gonna go in there with some grenades and blow up like some generator, and I'm like, you can just do that like a bomb. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Way less man work.
Wow, you really blew a hole in the story.
It didn't take a whole lot.
Because if you think what's crazy about this too is like we know that the Imperial Fists have blockaded Mars. Yeah. The problem is they're like, we can't really do that anymore. And I'm like, just drop a fucking bomb on the pole.
Yeah.
Wow. You really just threw this entire story.
Or I don't know, instead of blowing up the whole planet, just blow up like, I don't know, the fucking Fabricator General?
Dude, you should be a Primarch. You would have gotten shit done.
Yes, please. We got missiles, right? Like we still build those? Can we use them?
I
Is
just
that
feel
okay?
like multiple books now we've been talking. You've been like, what if they just did this? And I'm like, holy fuck. Somebody give this guy a raise.
I'm just this military genius and I'm just
It's
not
so
being put
smart.
to use.
What the hell? Guys, we should be using more guns and less swords.
Look,
Oh shit,
US
it's
government,
working.
I'm available. Chinese government, I could be available. Russian government, we'll talk.
It's all about the highest bidder.
Yeah,
So that's
definitely not North
Cybernetica.
Korean because they're not going to be able to pay me.
Cybernetica, I give a 2 out of 10. I only don't give it a 1 out of 10.
Had one good conversation, and that was like
Yeah,
just
but
enough to make me interested.
I'm glad like that Rob Sanders, the one thing I'm really glad about this story, what he did was like, I'm sure he was like storyboarding this and he talked to some other like authors and they're like, okay, so what does the Iron Hand do? He's like, no, Raven Guard. And they were like, oh shit. That's the best thing he did for this book, in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah.
So then we move into Ordo Sinister. I also hated this one. I thought this one was so stupid.
Can you give me a quick reminder which one this one is?
This is the one about the dude that operates the Titan that is a Psi Titan.
Oh yeah. And it had like this weird like back and forth meeting too of like Malkador, these random people. The thing too about this guy is like we get introduced to him, he's like walking around he's this like big badass motherfucker. He like walks up to the custodians like ID. He's like, I don't need no ID. You should know my creds.
Watch this.
And then they just kind of like look at him and let him through. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that dude deserves to get punched in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. I'm like, you could just let him know. Like, he could just be nice about it. Like, oh, yeah, of course. But he's like, no. I'm from Ordo Sinister. So this entire not short story is about a dude that was requested to fight with his Titan in the caverns of the Webley beneath Terra. But the reason they requested him to do this was because his Titan was powered by Psychers, and therefore it was a Psi Titan. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, it happens. So they sacrificed a bunch of virgins because demons hate virgins. And that means that they have superpower guns.
They never used their dicks.
The dicks on the outside?
Oh my god.
That doesn't sound right.
Lock these guys away.
No one likes a fucking virgin.
What I like about this novel is it really does portray grim dark. Like there's people that are in like the operating center of the Titan, but they're all fucked up. Like they've got like their faces removed and eyes removed, and it's just flat skin, and they're vomiting blood. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
It was weird.
It's very grim dark, very 40K in my opinion.
Yeah.
But what is a Psi Titan, guys? And why does it matter? We already read Master of Mankind. We already know what happens. It just kind of made this story seem like, okay, like fine.
We probably see more Psi Titans later, probably in Titan Death.
I doubt it. I'll bet on it now. I doubt it. I doubt we'll ever see a Psi Titan again. I think it was just a concept that they made up, and they were like, "Let's try and like do something with this."
I think someone mentioned that it might be. I think that it's either Mortis or Titan Death. I think
they have Psi Titans.
That. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I always get corrected. That's fine.
I mean, the idea is cool, but like, sure, I guess. Like, I'm not moved by it.
Yeah, I also just don't give a fuck about Titans.
Someone get those psychers to the Emperor.
They got work to do.
How many fucking... So this is the thing, right? Everyone's like, listen, okay, with all of the supply chains that the Imperium has, they can sacrifice 1,000 psychers a day to the Emperor. And I'm like, well, now we got Psi Titans to add to the equation. Like, how are we growing psychers from trees? Like, what the fuck?
I've been saying this the whole time. Like, it logistically doesn't make any fucking sense.
Someone could maybe convince me to jump on, like, listen, you got no idea. Based off of the math that I've done, I've calculated you could do it for the Emperor 1,000 Satyrs a day. But how many Psy Titans we got walking around sucking the souls out of these fucking guys to do some big Burt damage somewhere? Something to think about.
Like, think about like how long it takes for like a normal shuttle, like from Earth to like the moon. Now do that by like 25 light years. Like that shit's gonna take a while, no matter what. And you're gonna have like so many fucking ships running at all times. Like,
well, they use the warp, obviously,
but still, that's still not a fucking.
It's not a fast process. You still have to. I think the longer process is collecting the fucking guys.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you can't just like go get one and come back. Like, you gotta have a fucking shuttle.
Yeah, so they got the black ships, but at the same time, it's like then they decide, like, should we kill them? Should we use them as astropaths? Should we send them to the Emperor? I'm like, now you got jobs being dished out. Like, I don't know. It's not really.
This is the shittiest recruiting station I've ever been to.
I just don't know. I don't know. So then we move into the heart of the Pharaohs.
This is.
I only got one thing to say.
I actually have a question for you when we talk about this more.
So, the only thing I have to say about this book is, like, the line is so fucking stupid.
No, man, the lion's great.
Best I fucking can't stand the lion. This novel, this short story right here, it has done it. It has done the unthinkable, the impossible to me. The lion is the worst Primarch. It's no longer Lorgar. It's the lion. Like, it's cemented it. So this short story is a prequel to Pharaohs. And it basically, if you remember from Pharaohs, you have Abidemi, who is scared of the dark. And it basically talks about how when he went down into the Pharaohs to do a scouting mission, because they wanted to map the Pharaohs' caves, essentially, he fell into a crevice that was like endless. And he saw the Tyranids.
Yes, I was going to ask, is like, did he see the Tyranids or did he see the Night Lords? I also thought Tyranids.
Yeah, I think he saw the Tyranids.
I do too. Which, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, I think he like saw like, oh, this, because he said like it hungers, like it's gonna come and devour the galaxy. He said that they were out there waiting and like
he was actually
in between,
fucking scared.
Yeah. And now I'm like, that's pretty big. And so when they do this investigation, they go and tell Pollux. And Pollux is talking to the lion. Of course, the lion, the fucking statement that he makes is, don't fucking tell anyone. Why?
Well, what's even better, he's like, so like it was just a dream? And he's like, yeah, same guy that like dreamt that fucking Sanguinius was coming. He's like, I don't have time for dreams.
Seems kind of fucking stupid. But don't tell anyone about it. But keep it between you and me. Why? Because that gets me off. I'm gonna go. I'm going right now to find Fulgrim so we can talk about this secret that I have.
But first, I gotta hunt down Corvus Corax.
We're gonna go find Corvus Corax,
and then we'll find the Night Haunter, because I can't do it myself.
It's like, I can only equate this to the line watching porn. Like, he's sitting there. Think about this, right? He's sitting there on the throne, and his mind, this is it. Listen to this, right? He's like, Sanguinius and Gilman don't know I'm here. It's a secret. He's talking to him through the communication device, and he's like, yeah, don't tell anyone about it. It's just a secret. Me and you. Only me and you will know about this. Don't tell anyone. It's just be our little secret, our little precious one. Only they all know about the Tyranids. Oh, someone's coming. I gotta go. That's literally what I think about the lion. Like, the dude gets off on secrets. So like Gilliman walks in, he like closes his laptop. I'm not doing anything. I'm not communicating with the Pollux or anything. I'm not using the Pharaohs. Whatever, man. I was just jacking off. Leave me alone.
Everyone does it, man. Yeah, it's. But then, like Pollux is also like, so like, should we like reinforce the Pharaoh some more? Like we aren't like doing it always. Like, nah, it's fine. I'm gonna go find the Night Hunter.
No, don't do that.
Fuck your dreams.
But also, Pollux, don't tell anyone. I told you not to do that.
If things go to shit, no one knows. Make sure you die.
I just sit the lion's like walking around. He sees all these like space marines from other legions. Goes up. I got 6 toes on my right foot. But don't tell anyone. It'll be our little secret.
Just like, what the fuck?
If you tell anyone, I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you. Just us.
If you can't tell us, part of this book broke us.
Oh, shit. You literally have like, it's so funny because you have, what is his fucking name? Not Red Loss. Is it Red Loss? Of course, not Course Wayne. Fuck. Who is the guy that's with the lion here? He was a big part of Pharaoh's. Hulkland. You have Hulkland there. He's like, sir, should we like tell Gilliman and Sanguinius? But it's like, God, no, man.
Yeah, he was like really aggressive about it for no reason.
He's like, look, I'm kind of upset. You know about it. Honestly, it's kind of a turnoff.
I was raging until you said something.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot you were in the room.
My pants were already down, man. What the fuck?
Listen, Hulkland, don't tell anyone about this. It'll be our little secret. So the lion's got a lot of issues.
Yeah, he does.
But at the end, again, like it gets even worse because the lion's like, you know what priority number 1 is? We gotta go fucking find the Night Hunter. And literally Gilman's like, hey, so these worlds are getting destroyed by the word bearers and the world eaters. Oh, fuck them worlds.
Night Hunter, I need him.
We gotta find the Night Hunter. The Night Hunter's told so many of my secrets. He's really harsh in my vibe. He told everyone I got a small dick. We gotta hunt that guy down.
Every time, like, we something of like him, like wanting to hunt him down, I just think of the scene in is it Pharaohs? No, not Pharaohs.
Unremembered Empire.
Yeah,
no, fallen angels.
Yeah, fallen angels. Like, he's been here the whole time. The whole time.
Yeah. It's like, why are you so obsessed with
not
the Night Hunter? It was
Fallen Angels is the book of mine that you still have.
Something of angels. Descent?
Nope, Descent's the first one. Descent of Angels, Fallen Angels, Angels Caliban.
Angels of Caliban. There it goes. It's like, hey, Lion, Mr. Lion, sir, why do you want to hunt down Comrade Curse so bad? Oh, he's the swing vote for War Master.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Already locked down Puerto Bravo.
It was also a swing.
I'm here on the election cycle.
I already got Gilliman. I got Sanguinius. Oh, I got the others.
Conrad. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. The line's so stupid, but he's so they gotta get he's a swing vote.
What the fuck's our next one?
The next one is Wolf King.
I like this one.
This one was really well written. So Chris Wright does a very good job. Chris Wright's a great author. Only downside to this is of course it's like a little late. Like it's something that we didn't get, but we're getting it a little late. But we're also getting it right before Wolfsbane. So maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe it's the perfect timing for this.
Yeah, after starting Wolfsbane, because I mean Bjorn's a big character in it. This kind of gives you like more into like Bjorn being his like right hand man now. It talks about like the destruction on the ship, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big Bjorn book. I'm excited to see what Bjorn does in Wolf's Bane. But the ending of this was so fucking confusing. So confusing.
Yeah. So let's
But
get to the book first, or the story.
they're being hunted down. This is after Prospero. We know for a fact that they were under attack by the Alpha Legion because we had a short story about this.
We also had the book when
Scars.
Yeah. Oh, I'll see you next winter, dude. Good luck.
So see you next winter. That's cultural appropriation there, Con. It's absolutely ridiculous line. And you get the moment where Lehman Russ is like, did he really just fucking say that?
That fucking asshole.
I thought that was so funny. But yeah, we actually get a remembrance of that.
Yep.
They're like, I can't remember. I think it was Bjorn remembering it. Bjorn was like, yeah, and then the cop was like, see you next winter. And I shit myself right there. So yeah, basically at the end of the day, what's happened is the Alpha Legion have chased them down into the Alexis cluster stars.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds right.
And it's basically a giant cluster of gas that you have to like traverse very narrowly. And if you go into the gas, it destroys your ship. So like they're like trying to flee the Alpha Legion because they're being outnumbered. And the idea is if they go into the narrow corridors, then they can't be flanked essentially. And it's working for them, but also not working for them because they've lost every battle they've engaged with the Alpha Legion.
Yeah, and they're just completely outnumbered. I mean, they just came off of a big fucking war, and now they're getting fucked up by Alfarius.
Yeah, Alfarius is actually in this book. Well, we don't get confirmation.
Probably, yeah, I don't know. They like Lehman like recognizes him as Alfarius, so I would say he is, because Primarchs is supposed to know the Primarchs.
Yeah, Alfarius is so fucking impressive.
I love him.
Alfarius is fucking everywhere, dude. Like he's fucking dead with Lehman Russ. He's fucking with Roald Dorn. He's fucking with the Raven Guard Shuriken, dude. Like he's fucking everywhere.
He's fucking with Horse too.
Yeah, he's literally all over the place. He's so I think he's like one of the MVPs, honestly, of everything. But what is he accomplishing? You know, I don't fucking know.
I don't know, but he's fucking cool.
So basically, what happens is the first 70% of the book is really this big dispute because Lehman Russ is kind of depressed about killing Magnus.
And he's like, for whatever reason, like really into like psychic stuff right now.
Yeah, he got really into the psychic shit, which is very hypocritical.
It's whatever the fuck.
Runes. It's runes.
Yeah,
it's not psychic.
The runes are talking.
It's about the weird. But the other Space Marines, I actually really liked the way this was written because his Space Marines or the Space Wolves are upset with him for basically not participating in battle. And I think Lehman Russ has this idea. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter because we're going to lose anyway because we're incredibly outnumbered. Like, this is just math at this point.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I love is at one point, Lehman Russ is like, okay, like, I'm ready to go back in. The stars have aligned. The weird has told me we're ready to go. So he goes to the ship, but he gets confronted by Gunnarsson.
Yeah. Something like that.
Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson wants to fire some guns.
And you know what? Lehman lets him.
Well, what I love about this is, you know what I just compare this to immediately is the Lion and Nimiel. So they're on the bridge of a ship. Lehman's like, we're not going to. There's like basically they found out that the Alexi stars end and there's open space, and Gunnarsson is like, let's gun it. You see what I did there?
Yeah, so good.
Let's gun it to the outer space area, and then we can turn and fight the Alpha Legion. And Liam Russ is like, that doesn't make any sense because we kind of went in here in the first place because we can't fight in open space. So instead, we're going to take the second super narrow corridor to go further in. And Gunnarsson's not having it. So they basically have a big dispute. And Lehman's like, look, like, he basically showed sympathy to his son instead of cutting his head off, which is a big difference.
What?
Yeah.
You can do that?
Gunnarsson was won over, and then Lehman Russ came back over to him and was like, hey, like, by the way, like, if you want to, like, you can sacrifice yourself, like, blowing that shit up while we escape. And Gunnarsson's like, thank God, that's all I wanted to do ever.
He's like, I just want to fucking die. I was like, all right,
I
go for it.
just want to die. So that's what happens. He sacrificed himself, fighting the Alpha Legion so the other ships can escape into this narrow passageway. But it doesn't fucking matter.
Nope, not at all.
Because there's another giant opening that the Alpha Legion are able to flank them in. So they go into this giant fucking battle. But in the meantime, there's another separate little side story going on with an infiltrator on the ship. And I thought this was really well done too, because it kind of seemed like the infiltrator was Alpha Legion.
Yeah,
but it fucking
actually,
wasn't.
It was actually a twist for me.
It was a good twist.
Yeah, you have this space marine running around and like, you have this point of view, and he's like, this is like, everything's kind of fucking weird here. Like, I should have fucking studied more. He's like fucking running. He's like, man, I feel like I'm fucking running like an idiot. I don't think I should look like these guys. But maybe if I keep going, no one will notice. But like the head rune priest fucking hunts his ass down.
Yeah.
Beats the fuck out of him. And then he's like, what are you doing here? Dark Angel. I was like, oh fuck.
Whoa. It's not an Alpha Legionnaire. So he gets brought before Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ is asking what the Dark Angels are doing there. He's like, don't worry about it.
Well, before that, the rune priest is having a conversation with him like about the lion. He's like, man, fuck the lion.
Yeah, so we find out that this Dark Angel isn't like a Dark Angel. He's like a fallen angel.
Yeah.
So he's all about the Luther.
It makes me really also confused about what the fuck the timeline is for this.
Yes, I agree. We can talk about that for a second. So they have established, Luther's people have established a big fucking base here, quite far away from Caliban.
Yep.
And he says that there are 6 other bases. So that makes me think that Angels of Caliban happens well before this.
Yeah, but what also confuses me is fucking Lehman's like, wait a minute, there's like a bunch of guys at Caliban? Why doesn't he fucking go to Caliban then? He's even like, holy shit, like we could just like grab those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just does it.
Yeah, and so let's go ahead and finish the story, because I think there's more questions that get brought up. Essentially, what happens is in the middle of a battle between the Alpha Legion and the Space Wolves, the Dark Angel's like, hey, phones his friends. Oh, they're loyal. He says that He says that the Space Wolves are loyal Legion. To me, that seems like it's going to be bad for the Space Wolves, but I guess not, because the Luther's Dark Angel comes in and they basically have like a fucking what is it? It's like a galaxy destroyer, but it seems like the Phalanx
class or some shit. Like,
it seems like they got the Phalanx.
Yeah,
I didn't know there were more of them, but apparently there's like some mini phalanxes out there.
They were fucking up the Alpha Legion.
Yeah, so the Alpha Legion had to run, and then the Wolf King was like, great, like this is going to be a really great union between the Dark Angels and I'll tell you, there was a really fucking funny scene. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about? So he goes on to the phalanx like ship to talk to a Dark Angel, the head Dark Angel.
It was like,
do you remember what happened?
And like everyone fucking points their guns at him immediately. He's like, Huh?
Well, do you know why that happened? Did you pick up the context on that?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, it's so funny. To get this, okay, so he walks in. I like actually laugh like out loud for a second. He walks in. There's like the leader of the Dark Angels, and he's like, "Are you sure you want to do this here?" And Dark Angel's like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Okay," and starts like drawing his sword. Like, wait a minute, I was under the idea that we were allies. And we were like, "Oh, yeah, no, we're allies. I just thought that's what we were gonna do." And the Dark Angel was like, "Oh, I don't know. Like, we've been away for a really long time, so we don't know if we don't know about like customs and stuff." And Lehman Russ was like, "That's a good thing." You remember how like
Oh
when Dark
yeah.
Angels and Space
Yeah,
Wolves
yeah,
meet,
yeah,
they have
yeah.
to fight each other. So Lehman Russ thought that he was about to have to body this dude.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this dude was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But like we just helped you. Like
Yeah, that's why.
why?
Yeah, Lehman Russ has this moment where he was like, "That's a good thing. Like, thank fucking God." I was about to be really annoyed with this entire moment. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But the whole thing is like they're now allies. I don't understand like what that means though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's like I said earlier, like he was like, oh, like there's a bunch of soldiers at Caliban, like we should fucking team up. Like that would be like super fucking useful. And then like it didn't go anywhere. Because we get the fucking wolf spade, and there are no dark angels there.
Yeah,
And
this
I mean,
was
he also is like the head dark angel is also like, yeah, like we're like here for on like Luther's orders. Like fuck the line, he's a cunt.
yeah, I think it's super strange. I want to read this passage though because I think it's so funny. Lehman Russ says, "You want to do this here?" Althalos raised his eyebrow. "My lord," Russ drew his frostblade, already tiring of the ritual, and only stopped when he heard several hundred bolters slide from their holsters. Althos looked a bit cautiously. "I had understood that we were allies." Russ looked at him for a moment, then at the Dark Angels with weapons, and slowly replaced his blade. "Actually, this is refreshing. You really have no idea." So yeah, I don't understand what Luther's plan is, why he would want the Dark Angels or the Dark Angels under his command to ally with Loyalists. From what we read at the end of Angels of Caliban, it kind of seems like he was going to go be buddy buddy with Typhus. And it kind of seems like they were big on the warp, big on betraying the lion. So I have no idea what the masterminding plan here is and why they decided to help Lehman Russ.
Yeah, because I mean, really all they want is to be their own thing. Like they just want to be independent. It's like why even give a shit?
Yeah, but they're also like pretty warped up. They're pretty like
They are,
chaos
but they don't
fucked.
give a shit about like the Civil War. Like they just give a shit about themselves.
Yeah,
Which
that's
I
true.
don't blame them.
But they're chaos souped, and I feel like chaos gives a fuck about the Civil War. So I just it doesn't make sense to
Yeah,
me
but
that they would
like if you
help
think
Lehman
about it,
Russ.
like fucking what Zahariel is like all about the fucking worm, the
Yeah,
Ouroboros,
the worm.
and
Give me
fucking
the worm.
Caliban. So like I don't think they care too much. I don't know.
Yeah. If any of the viewers know like why they would choose Lehman Russ instead of the Alpha Legion, let us know. Like it kind of seems like too they knew they were loyal, so like why would they choose the loyalist over the traitor? So there's some interesting pieces there because if you say they don't care about the Civil War, you'd think they would just go with the side that was winning. You know what I mean?
Or just not side with anyone at all. Just let them fucking kill each other.
Exactly. So it seems kind of strange that they picked a side, and it seems strange with the side they picked, in my opinion. So that's Wolfgang. I thought it was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I actually really like that one.
Yeah. Then we have the binary secession. This one was okay.
It was interesting.
Yeah. I did not know that this is how that started.
Me either. So this is the birth of the Adeptus Mechanicum. And it
Adeptus
follows.
Mechanicus, yeah.
What I like about this is it's really just a political story. It's not like super action packed. It's a fucking political story.
Big fan of that. Yeah.
Yep. We have Kane is talking to this other
His like servant. It was his liaison when
yeah.
he was on Mars. And yeah. So she knows Kane pretty well.
Yeah. And it's basically like, look, we need to get on the Council of Terra. Like it's bullshit that we're not. Like we need to have a showing to get on there because it's bullshit. And like the first time they like try to make this case, I guess is the best way to say it, they're just like, nah, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
So they go again and they don't fuck around on the second try.
Yeah.
Like they're like arguing, which I mean their argument makes sense. They're like, look, we are under a treaty with Mars, which obviously you guys don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, not even a place anymore. Like kind of hard to be under a treaty with a place that doesn't exist or isn't following you.
Yep. And like, yeah, we're helping you, but you kind of treat us like shit.
Yeah.
And you tell us what to do, and we have no say. Like, that's not us. We're independent, actually. So you're gonna fucking respect us, and we need to be part of the decisions that we're a part of.
Yeah, I didn't know this. I wasn't aware that Mars at this point and the Mechanicum in general was not actually a part of the Imperium.
Yeah, I didn't know.
They were just allies. I thought like the Emperor was like, come join the Imperium and I'll let you worship a dragon, you fucking weirdos. But you know, like that wasn't it. So they're just allies. And essentially what's happening is they're like, listen, like we are getting taxed without being represented was essentially what happened. Like we're here, we're refugees, and we don't have any representation for us, and we're being asked to do things. And at the same time, like the humans were like, kind of fucking sucks to suck. You lost your planet. Yeah. And also a good point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they basically pushed to make an Adeptus Mechanicus, which is the rise and the origin of Adeptus Mechanicus. We're really starting to see a lot more of the Mechanicum, and we're seeing it in Wolfsbane, and I like this side of the Mechanicum. It's very interesting. It's very political. And yeah, you're right. The second time they didn't fuck around. They went in and asked first, wasn't taken very seriously. Second time they come in, they bring a Titan, and it goes a little bit shaking.
Better. You have a Titan fucking just like staring into there, and like, yeah, we're gonna fucking be on this goddamn council, or we're just gonna fucking kill all of you. Which, fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point to be made now that like the Adeptus Mechanicus is the part of the Imperium. So now like there is no group of allies, like you fall under this ruling. And most of the Mechanicum didn't like that, but I think Kane and his representatives were like, we need that, and that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like if Kane he got killed. Like Kane was put in that position by
kind of accident. Dorn, yeah, Dorn was sort of like, you're the dude now.
Yep, you made my armor. Well, guess what? You just got fucking saved, and now you are a fabricator general.
Might even have been like Sigismund. He was like, oh, you're the guy that made the armor? Great, you're in charge.
Yeah, so like if something happened to him, like no one knows what the fuck would happen.
Yeah, would have been crazy stuff. So
I think that was he'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think this was pretty well done. I think though the problem that I have with the Mechanicum is after reading Master of Mankind, they're just traitors. Like I don't even know how else to say it. Like I think the humans had a really good reason to distrust the Mechanicum. I think the humans had a really good fucking reason to want to like not give the Mechanicum an Adeptus and force them into line, because Kane did betray the Imperium. Just not talked about. Just kind of how like Iron Hands are actually a traitor legion. No one talks about it. Dark Angels are actually a traitor legion. So we get to our last story, and that's Perpetual.
All Pearson, baby.
All Pearson. Great to see him again. Wished we got to see some John Grammaticus, but we do not. real short story, real easy to synopsize. He gets stuck. He's been stuck traveling through these warp portals. He gets into one place. He's been there for 2 years with his group. And the reason he's been there for 2 years was because he's on a planet that got like half eaten by a giant robot.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And the way he explains it is much better than the way I just explained it.
That was exactly it.
But basically, I loved this because he started talking about like the Men of Iron, the revolt of the machines, and the dark age of technology, shit that we have not really talked about at all in the books.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, there's like an entire 20,000 years of lore that we're not even looking into. And that's one of the things that happened. So Dan Abnett, I think, is just having a lot of fun writing about that shit. But essentially, a giant robot ate half of this like Cliff City planet, and the area that he needs to cut was there.
He's like, fuck.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's trying to make decisions on where to go. He's been trapped there for 2 years. He gets visited by John Grammaticus, who I was super pumped about.
Same.
And then we come to find out it wasn't John Grammaticus.
Finds out it's a Alpha Legion.
All kills the Alpha Legionnaire with the help of the girl that is with him, who is a psyker.
Yeah, I thought before that she was a null.
No, yeah, I thought so too, but I guess she must be a psyker.
I guess. Whatever.
So he kills the Alpha Legionnaire, and he's like, "Fuck, we gotta get out of here." So it's like, all right.
Well, we gotta go backwards, where it's probably also a trap because that guy wanted us to go back, but like we kind of just gotta go back.
That's not what they do, though.
Weren't they going back?
No, because they said they could go back. But I was like, but I got another idea that we can try, and I think that's the best solution. And that's what they end up doing.
Oh yeah.
Because they get to
right.
Yeah, well, they get to the edge of the cliff and they're like, okay, like, what do we do? And he goes like, well, we fucking jump. And that's the end of the book. That's the last line.
You do it, old person.
Yeah, fucking, I cannot wait to read more about All Pearson. He's one of my favorite characters in the novel so far. Yeah. So that's Burn of Loyalty.
Started off rough, got better in the end.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
You said you had some tabletop drama. We probably have like 5 or 10 minutes.
I do have some tabletop drama. I've got a few different things I want to talk about. So first off, have you seen the drama and stuff? This might be like a little old now, but there was some drama and some speculation around. Is it the YouTube Sigmar miniatures? Mm-hmm. That is the guy? Squidmar is his name. Squidmar miniatures. So this is the guy, you've probably seen the videos because he's really famous. These two guys, they're really famous for creating like crazy dioramas. They're a painting studio. They're one of the best miniature painting studios. So he did a video series like a while back where he made a diorama out of a manta. Fucking crazy diorama. It took him a long time, but it looked so fucking cool. Right? So he then did another series where he was like, hey, we're going to do like a trade swap thing where his goal was he was going to take a 2-cent miniature that he got from a store and trade it all the way up to a Warlord Titan.
Okay.
Without paying for anything. Now, the tricks, the things that he did do was repaint miniatures.
Yeah.
Right. So he, in the course of half a year, got 2 Warlord Titans.
Oh shit.
From a 2-cent miniature. Yeah, absolutely nuts. So he just had so many different armies. He was able to like trade up to having like multiple armies, and he was trading those multiple armies for a Titan, and like it was pretty nuts. So he was basically like, okay, like what are we gonna do with these 2 top Warlord Titans? He was like, we're gonna make like a really badass fucking diorama of them battling like to the death, right? And there was a lot of drama that hit that apparently because people were upset with him for like not painting them and then like selling them to people who could play with them on the tabletop. To which I say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, like they're his toys, you know.
Yeah.
Like he figured it out, like he gets to do what he wants to do. So few of them exist that very few people in this world where I would get to play with a Warlord Titan. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's the point. So what happened was he was getting a lot of like drama from that, but he decided he was going to go with the what was it called? The diorama, essentially. That's what he's going to do. Well, he's trying to figure out how he wants to sell it. Well, he gets contacted by Major Kill, you know, the Australian Major Kill YouTube channel guy, super hilarious. And Major Kill's like, oh gosh, I want to say it was some crazy amount of money, $20,000.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's like, I'll give you $20,000 for that diorama. It hasn't even been built yet. So I'll give you $20,000 for it. But then Squidward's like, I don't know. I think we want to sell tickets for an auction. Like you get $1 per ticket. And Major Kill's like, okay, I understand that. So this is what I'm going to do. Whoever, like you can put it in advertisement or whatever, like whoever wins that raffle, I will offer them $20,000. So if you win this raffle, like you can choose between this crazy diorama or $20,000.
I'd take $20,000, I think.
Pretty fucking crazy. But think about how fucking cool that thing would be. Like it would be the craziest centerpiece. I mean, they look really cool. You should definitely look up that.
Where the fuck would I put it?
Yeah, right. You should look up the Manta diorama. It was so cool the way they did it. So they're working on the diorama right now. It looks really cool. So just a lot of cool community lore that I thought was interesting. Speaking of community lore, have you been seeing the fucking memes that I post in the meme channel?
I have, yes.
The videos.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just talk about how much that's exploded in like the Warhammer meme culture recently and how crazy it is that Joe Rogan and Alex Jones fit so perfectly into Warhammer? Like it kind of freaks me out a little bit. Like that one where Alex Jones is talking about the aliens.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
the
my
gods
god,
and shit.
Yeah, like you're literally describing the set of aliens from Warhammer. If you guys haven't seen it, what is his name on YouTube? It's something von Karstein, right?
I can tell you. I have Discord right here.
I think it's Edward von Karstein or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Edwin von Karstein.
Yeah, if you guys have the time, definitely look up Edwin von Karstein on YouTube. He does a lot of really cool, like real life edits of people talking, whether or not it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia cast or Joe Rogan podcast. He'll clip them talking and make them say certain things, but it's setting in a Warhammer universe, and it is hilarious. I fucking love it. Definitely worth checking it out. And of course, join our Discord for the meme channel because it's fucking great.
There's good ones.
Yeah. So I do have some tabletop drama.
I'm ready.
Hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting for you in next weekend, but I'm going down to Knoxville, Tennessee this weekend for an RTT. So if anyone's going to be there, it's a 20-person RTT, so I doubt it. If you're going to be there, let's talk. Get a beer at lunch. But I was looking at the roster of people that are going to be there, and I'm like, some of these names kind of seem familiar. Like I know some of these people. I mean, I've been playing in the area for a while, so I do actually know a lot of the people on the roster. But I was like, this person looks familiar. So I went through like my old tournaments and old rosters. You know who's going to fucking be there, Dylan?
This is the nice guy?
No, it's the Death Guard player.
Which one was that one?
The one that completely made up rules to his Death Guard, where his like fucking his Poxwalkers moved 10 inches, had a 6-up invuln, 6-up feel no pain, and a 6-up stand back up.
Is he taking Death Guard again?
No, he's taking Night Renegades. So I'm gonna have to look into Night Renegade rules and make sure I know every single one of them so I don't get screwed if I get paired with them. Odds are pretty low, but we'll see how that goes. I plan on taking my Thousand Suns again with Magnus.
Nice.
I did very well with them last tournament, so hopefully we see that continue.
Nice.
I'll let you know though how that goes.
Yeah.
Where he ends
please
up.
do.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I have. Drama comes next week. The setup for the drama.
Can't wait.
Hell in the Cell round 2.
Personal enjoyment of Burdens of Loyalty.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a 3 or a 2
The
because
beginning
there's
was
some
just
good
so
ones.
rough, but yeah, like
Yeah.
it ended well, but man, it was a slog to get through that.
You know, my buddy messaged me who's been reading the books. And he goes, "Man, I'm an idiot. I read Flight of Eisenstein and you told me not to. And like it kind of sucked." It's
I
like,
liked Flight of Eisenstein, damn.
yes, I think the problem is though, like he wasn't aware of what it would be. So he was like, half of the book was just Isfan. He's like, I like the other half, but I already knew the first half. And I'm like, oh, what you should have done was read Fulgrim first. And he was like, oh, is that not about Isfan? I'm like, it is.
But it is the Isfan 5.
that's where you want to get worn out, because I think if you read Fulgrim first, Fulgrim gets even better because you're not worn out by getting 2 Isfan iterations and then jumping into a third one. So
yeah,
I'm really excited to basically plan out like a map for him. Like, don't read this first, go to this short story, do this. Like I think like there's such a better read order than the release.
Yeah, I agree.
So excited for that. I'll let you guys know what my read order is once I figure it out.
Yeah, that needs to be a special that we do.
The Heresy Lodge official read order.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Cool.
Think any of these are important to the heresy at all?
No, maybe Perpetual. Wolf King is important, but it doesn't really matter because we already know where Lehman Russ is.
Yeah.
If it comes up later about like
the Dark Angels or
the
something.
Dark Angels, then maybe it's important, but I kind of doubt it does. I just don't know.
Yeah, probably Perpetual. I mean, the Order of Secession could be.
I think Order of Secession was supposed to be more like a shout out to some 40K stuff because I don't think it's going to really matter.
They call it the Adeptus Mechanicus in Wolfsbane.
Yeah.
So might.
Yeah, maybe.
No, whatever. That's it though. I agree with your rankings. Guys, hit us up on the Discord. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. We also have tips enabled if you feel like contributing to the podcast. We also have merch that you can buy to also contribute to us. You can email us at theheresiolodge@gmail.com. Check us out on YouTube. That's where we also have all of our episodes. Go there, like, subscribe, leave comments. Also at the Heresy Lodge. Those are all of our things. We'll be back next week with our preview of Wolfsbane. You guys have a good one.